Hello, crypto world. It's Sunday night in the United States and early Monday morning in Asia. The stock futures have opened, and I'm going to call it basically unchanged, but this week could be very volatile. We have producer prices coming out on Wednesday and then CPI. And you know last week's volatility was in part caused by the negative employment numbers. These numbers are very important and arguably will tell not only what the Fed is going to do in September, but also give some clue as to the future. And tonight, the dollar is similarly unchanged, but remember, after that bad number last week with respect to employment, the dollar fell down significantly, so this is a low number, but it's up a little bit tonight, nothing serious. Now let's jump over to crypto land. And look at this, we are in Greenland. This is very good after the negative performance of crypto on Friday when we had the bad employment number and the stock market sold off and interest rates went down. The dollar went down and crypto went down, and it normally goes up. So this is very good that in a sense it's recovered from that. And I can't underline enough how important the PPI and the CPI is coming this week, because we can't afford a high CPI number, so the Fed is reluctant to cut, as many predict, 3 times or 2 times for the balance of the year. And the term stagflation you're going to hear a lot about. That's where you have a recession at the same time you have inflation, which puts the Fed in a bind, because if it lowers interest rates, it addresses the recession, but it doesn't help the problem with inflation. Now, there's something else that's really kind of remarkable. As you all know, there are 2 courts that have said that the tariffs are unconstitutional, or a majority of them, and it's going to the Supreme Court. And both sides have asked the Supreme Court to have an expedited hearing. And part of the reason is Secretary Besson warned that if the Supreme Court voids the tariffs, the massive refunds will be a problem for the United States. So they want to straighten that out as soon as possible, and they believe there's a way, Secretary Besson does, to, if you will, impose the tariffs through a different method. But nobody knows what's going to happen, so keep your eye on this, as well as the CPI and the PPI data that's coming out next week. Bottom line, crypto made it through the weekend without any continuation of the sell-off, and in fact, a rally here, which is very good. And while the rally is not on a lot of volume and it's not a huge rally, it really suggests that the response of the crypto world to the lower dollar and the decreasing interest rates was, if you will, inappropriate or an overreaction to the concern that there's a big recession and a risk off in the United States. But only time will tell.